working. Okay.
Great.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabrielle. I think I introduced myself at the first stream, but I'm going to introduce myself again. I am the new community manager, and Sean is on vacation. He will be coming back soon. I just wanted to show you guys real quick our Discord channel before we start. So we have the announcements here, but also I wanted to show you guys some really funny fan art that we received. Boop, boop, boop. This is look at that fan art, though. It's really nice. So this is from Fire Puzzle Puff. He made us these amazing, so that's really nice, by the way. Then we have near Shu when someone asks for updates. That's like the funniest thing. And then we have a whole bunch of Sean's, as you can see. Sean's, yes. And then Gaby's, because that's my thing. And then the last one is someone made a guild for me, which is actually pretty cool.
Amazing.
I know, right? Anyway, so that's our Discord. And yeah, Sean will come back soon, hopefully. I think Sean's actually watching us now, so hello. Let's start with update 2.
All right, so I'm Dan Porter, game designer on the project. So I have a bunch of interesting stuff to show to you today. We're going to start off with, we have some quality of life improvements this update. So one of them I'm going to show you right now is that we've added an ELIXIR lab. So this is where you can combine and split elixirs into higher or lower versions. So right now, just take a look at that real quick. You can see that I have all the different element elixirs. And you can spend some gold to combine them together or to split them apart. So this is going to really help out for those of you who are looking for those mighty elixirs and have been having some difficulty finding them. You can combine some of your medium elixirs.
Yeah.
So that's the first feature.
Elixir Hive, yes, of course.
All right, so let's move on a little bit. Maybe we'd like to talk about the upcoming release of the co-op.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Co-op boss.
So we're not going to show you everything right now, but just as a little teaser, I'm going to explain a little bit of the new things that are coming up with the co-op boss. So you'll be able to find it here. In the adventure menu.
Yes.
And just a little information about that. The co-op boss can be played with 3, 4, or 5 players, depending on the difficulty. On the lowest difficulty, you can fill the room with bots. You can bring your own champions and use them as an AI player. But otherwise, it's a skill-based game mode. So it's really, there's no auto mode. You're controlling it the whole time, just like you would in the 5 versus 5. Right. And you can invite your friend, your guilds, etc. And what's interesting about this mode is that the boss actually changes every week. He gets different abilities, different skills, different element. So this is a challenge that evolves over time. So we're really excited to show this to you, and stay tuned for more information about that. Right. We will say that the co-op raids will not be available as soon as the update lands. We're going to have an event to release the mode, but stay tuned for more information about that. Yeah. Also, in this mode, just to talk a little bit about the rewards, we have a few new gear sets. So I'm going to show you some of the little bit of some teasers here. Let's just check this out.
Just to reinstate what Dan said, for update 2, the co-op boss will not be released, but we will have an event for it. And yeah, stay tuned.
So here's a little teaser on the new gear sets that are coming out. And something that's interesting about the new boss, he actually drops this set called the Blighted set. It gives you the ability to use his special buff. He has this legendary debuff. There's a new category of buffs and debuffs, the legendary buffs and debuffs, and I can show you a little bit about that right now. So here's a tease as to some of the mechanics. Take your screenshots now, folks. All right. And so we're going to have these new buffs and debuffs that will the debuffs will ignore 50% of the target's resistance, and you can't remove them with skills that remove debuffs. So they're a little bit nastier. There is a gear set that can help you deal with that, but it's going to add another layer to the sort of counterplay that we see right now in the arena, and also for bosses, it's going to open up a bunch of new strategies. So we can see those gear sets, and let's see, what else do we have to show? Oh, yes, the co-op boss will also be dropping a new item that's called chaos shards. They're chaos orbs and chaos orb shards. The boss drops the shards. The orbs will only be available in special events, so the shards is what we're going to focus on here. But basically, if you have a piece of gear that's level 15, you may be thinking, how could I make this better? And the answer is, if I go to the upgrade tab, I now have orbs. And what these allow you to do is they allow you to re-roll your secondary stats. So what's important to note about these is that you can get them from beating the hardest difficulty of the new boss. And also that you're not going to find these anywhere else. The shards are only available there. Where they're not going to be in the shop, they're not going to be in any of the other game modes.
You can't
they
buy
are
them.
they are specifically for playing co-op. So if you play every day, you'll get some shards, and you'll be able to re-roll some of those max level gear. So what else are we going to show today?
Good question.
That's a good question. Let's see.
Oh, we did outfits, co-op, ELIXIR. Oh, we didn't do outfits.
We didn't do outfits. Let's talk about outfits a little bit. Okay. So we're adding a new tab called the Outfits tab, and you'll be able to unlock new outfits for your characters. So let's take a look at that. Here we go. So this is the Fallen Archangel. We're going to show a couple outfits, but there are more that we're only teasing 2 for right now.
Yeah.
So basically, the way this works is that outfits are used to customize the appearance of your champions. And when you get an outfit, they don't give any bonus right away, but you can invest in them to level them up. Now, I know that some of you have been concerned about releasing things that are difficult to achieve in the game, that are perhaps something that, like, we're going to have these skins are going to be unlockable in many different ways.
Yes.
There's going to be outfit currency. That's called they're called outfit tokens, and they're a specific new currency that's just for unlocking these really nice outfits, and you'll get them from the 5v5 and from the co-op raids.
Yes, exactly.
As well as there are new bonus daily quests for each of those modes, and if you beat those daily quests, you will get some outfit tokens that you can unlock or upgrade some outfits. So as far as that goes, every champion will have a classic outfit, which is the default look of the character. So if you don't want to change the look of your champion, you don't have to. You can just you can unlock a classic outfit, and also. Because we only have a few champions that have skins right now, only a few champions have outfits, so you can unlock the classic outfit if you really want to get. There's a small stat bonus if you level them up. So it's 5% to 1 stat, and if your champion is able to go into the 5 versus 5, there's also a small flat bonus for the 5 versus 5. So we didn't want to add the big percentage bonus because we didn't want to unbalance the game mode.
That's true.
So. We'll take another look at that.
Also, what if they don't like the outfit and they just like the current look of the champion, though?
Yeah, so as I said, every champion has a classic outfit, and this is the default look. There's no difference between the ascended and unascended versions of it. You can just take your even if you have an unascended champion, if you equip an outfit, they're going to look ascended. But basically, you can get this classic outfit, and it will have all the same bonuses that any of the other outfits would. So always the stats will be the same between any 2 outfits that give the same stat bonus. So for instance, the Archangel gets up to 5% max HP, and the Golem gets up to 5% max HP. There's no difference between the 2, and all of their outfits have that same bonus on them. So for one character, it's always the same stat, and between different characters who share the same stat, it's always the same bonus.
Right.
So that's about it for outfits. Do we have anything else we'd like to show?
Can you actually show them the new Bounty Hunter outfit, or?
Oh yeah, let me just get a closer look at that.
We also have a question saying, how many can we get from 5v5? Is there a cap per season? Are you talking about outfit tokens? I think.
Oh yes. Okay. So for the outfit tokens, I'll explain a little bit more about those. There's 3 kinds of outfit tokens. There's the basic ones, which you get from 5v5 and from co-op.
Yeah, daily.
And there is a daily quest that you win 1 match in 5 versus 5, and if you win this match, you get some. Also, at the end of each at the end of each match, you'll win a little bit if you won the match. So the same thing as the light and dark shards right now. So it uses the same mechanic, and there is a cap per week. I think right now, yeah, those are the two best places to get those. It's possible that we may also have events that give them,
right?
But no details on that. The second type of outfit currency is called special outfit tokens, and that is a reward for being the top of the weekly guild leaderboard for the new co-op event. So the boss will rotate about once a week. We might change the exact number of days that one event runs, but there'll be a leaderboard, and every time you kill it, depending on the difficulty, you give points to your guild on the leaderboard.
Yes.
And at the end of the event, the guilds towards the top of the leaderboard will get these exclusive special outfit tokens that are for certain skins there.
Can you show the A outfit again, because some people just showed up, and someone was asking if it was just the bounty hunter and the archangel. No, we were just decided to tease those two. We can't show you everything.
Yeah, we can't show you all of the outfits right now.
Yeah, this is just got here.
Okay, so I think we have some time for some questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's question and answer time. Q&A.
Q&A for update 2. So we discussed about chaos, orbs, and shards. We talked about co-op, we talked about outfits and ELIXIR labs. So anybody have any questions?
Let's see. Here's the exact works of accuracy and resistance.
Will chaos shards change a flat stat to a percentage stat, or chaos orbs?
They can. So what happens is it changes all of the secondary stats. Get re-rolled, so maybe you had attack before, maybe that stat is now defense, but also whether it's flat or percentile can change, and all of the level ups will be re-rolled as well. But you'll still keep the same primary stat, and you'll still keep the same set, and the same rarity, and the same level. Once you've re-rolled, you can choose whether to keep the new stats or the old stats. So if you re-roll and you don't like what you see, you don't have to keep it, but that will consume the orb shards.
Yes. Someone was asking, hey, there is a lot of talk about champion storage. We actually made a dev Q&A that will answer all of these. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you can get the answer. It should be out on Friday, if not on Monday. So that
Let's see here. Compensation for energy. Okay, so the 97 energy thing.
Yeah.
Yes, we've heard a lot of comments about this. We know that you all like big round numbers, so we're going to pump up the last two levels, 39 and 40. When you're at level 40, you'll now have 100 energy for the next update.
Exactly, for the next update. When will the update be? Soon.
Soon.
Let's see. I missed the co-op part of the stream. Can I find it somewhere else? Oh, co-op.
So we did not show the actual battle. We did not go in and fight the co-op boss. We're just teasing right now some of the rewards for the co-op and the fact that it is 3, 4, or 5 players.
Exactly, and it will not be in update 2. There will be an event for the co-op boss later. But once the co-op boss is out, when can they access it?
So,
after...
So the way that you unlock the mode, you have to have defeated the Elder Drake stage 7.
Yes.
So if you've beaten stage 7, you're good. You're going to have co-op when it's released.
Yeah. Will there be any champion balancing in this update? Yes, a lot.
There will be champion balancing. So I can talk a little bit about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that a lot of you have heard about the Archangel super invulnerable team. The Archangel Water and Dark have invulnerability. And by stacking multiple Archangel Water or Dark, you can just be invulnerable all the time, and that's pretty harsh on Arena, and it also makes bosses not very exciting. So we are going to add something that it doesn't nerf an individual Archangel, but when you combine an Archangel, when you have multiple Archangels with invulnerability, or if you have one Archangel that has many characters that lower skill cooldown all in one team, we're putting a restriction that from this point forward, once the update is released, after you're affected by the Archangel's Guardian Angel ability, which gives invulnerability, you can't gain invulnerability from any other source for another 7.5 seconds.
Right.
So That's the big number, 7.5. So no matter what you do, you're always going to at least have a 3.5 second window of getting hurt by stuff.
Let's see. Other questions. Will the chaos shards be only in the highest difficulty? Yes, for the co-op. Yep. Only the highest difficulty. It's called Nightmare. So
yes, the new Nightmare difficulties. That's where the shards are. That's also where the Blighted set is. There are 2 other sets that will be available in the lower difficulties of the co-op boss, which is the Hallowed and the Resilient set, which are both gear sets aimed at dealing with the new legendary debuffs. Let's see what other questions. Some other balancing things. I know that a lot of you have been concerned with the performance of the Water Diva in 5 versus 5. So the Diva is getting a nerf this update. We know that the top tier players basically have to have this champion in their team in order to compete, and that's no good. So we're lowering her healing a bit, and we're making it so that her ultimate ability, right now it stuns 3 times. Instead, it will only stun the target once, but you can try 3 times if you didn't get it the first time.
Exactly. We have a question about co-op attempts limited every day. Yes, champions do get exhausted.
Yes, okay. So for co-op, there's no energy in this mode, so you can play it as much as you want. However, you do use your champions to do so. The way that this works is if you fight the co-op boss and you lose, no biggie, you can try again as many times as you want. If you win, that champion becomes exhausted and you can't use it for the rest of the day. And the reset time is the same time that the daily is reset. So basically, the more champions you have, the more tries you get per day to get those sweet, sweet co-op rewards.
Exactly. And even if they're bots, they get exhausted as well. Let's see. Maybe that question.
So what if you have an AA and have Invulnerable come up with cooldown skills? Yes, so if you have a single Archangel and you're stacking a lot of different cooldown reduction effects, like I'll give you an example. If you have Adept and you have a synergy trait that gives cooldown reduction, you'll be fine. If you have Adept and a synergy trait and you're running Light Boon Sister and you're running 1 or more Timekeepers, at some point you're going to get under that 7.5 second threshold, and at that point you're going to not be able to use it again. Now, as far as auto mode goes, the AI does know that the target won't be affected by the invulnerability, so the AI will not waste your skill. So don't worry about that. But if you're stacking a lot of cooldown reducing effects, yeah, there's a cap on that now. It was just the problem was that at a certain point we need bosses to be able to actually challenge people, so they need to deal damage, and we need to create a window that bosses could actually deal damage. So that's what happened. And for PvP also, it's really not fair to say that every single team has to have a buff removing champion or they don't stand a chance. It's just a little bit too much. So if you compare the Water and Dark Archangel to the other Archangels, you can see that there's a lot of really broken combos, and we needed to put a limit on that. So in the future, we're going to keep a close eye on the metagame to make sure that if there's something that's too strong, we pull it down a little bit in power. But also, we're going to announce that there's going to be a bunch of champions getting buffs this update, especially in the 3-star tier. We see that there's a lot of champions that are underused right now. So we're reworking some of those champions. We're giving buffs to the Shark, I believe, is getting some buffs. We're reworking the Dragon Guard, the Mercenary. There's a few other champions as well that we look and see the champions that are not used very much on bosses or in the arena. And in this case, we see like, okay, well, so what's the usefulness? If you summon this champion, we feel that you should be happy with summoning this champion. We want you to use it somewhere. So we're going back and we're reworking some of these characters and buffing them and giving them some really unique effects. So something I will tease is that one of our champions is going to have a new legendary debuff version of block healing for all of you people out there wondering how to take down that Dark Dryad. There's going to be an option for you. I look forward to seeing some strategies that come out from this. So it's going to be on a 3-star champion, so it's going to be a trade-off for you guys. So let's see what you do with it. Any other questions?
It's a lot of buffs. Buff this, buff that, buff Dark B. Yes, please buff Dark B. Let's see. People were wondering, can they play co-op alone? Yes, you can play with bots.
You can play with bots on the easiest difficulty.
Yep.
So that will that difficulty does not
Mm-hmm.
have the bladed gear set and does not have the Chaos Orb shards, but it does have some of the other gear sets, and you can certainly get your outfit tokens for the week that way.
Exactly.
Although the outfit tokens, the weekly cap is per difficulty. So if you can do all 3 difficulties, then you can get a lot. Also, the exhaustion mechanic is also tied to difficulty. So if you can beat the highest difficulty of the boss, you can use the same character on the medium difficulty and easiest difficulty.
Right. Can you show us the stats for the gear sets again?
For the gear sets, sure. Let's go on over there. Go to the guide. Let's check out those gear sets. Let's see them. There we go.
Just in case. There's a lot of buffing questions. Everything. Buff, buff, buff. Well,
buffing questions. Let's see here. Starstruck debuff. Okay, so the Starstruck debuff, this is something interesting. So Starstruck is kind of an interesting mechanic. It's really unique to the diva, so it's not truly a debuff. It's an effect that she applies. We used the same text color to describe it, and we gave it a name, but it's not truly a debuff because you can't, I'm pretty sure you can't resist it. It's just something that happens when she uses the ability. So as far as this goes, the main problem with this was that there was actually an invisible wall on 2 of our bosses that was, she has a unique mechanic that her, I believe it's called Catchy Tune. That skill, it bounces off of walls. And this is the first skill that we've made that does a bounce off walls effect. So it's actually bouncing off the wall in front of the boss. So the funny thing here is that Starstruck actually works on the boss. It wasn't hitting the boss. So what was happening is the projectile was detonating in the opposite direction. So we've just made those walls so that the Starstruck can pass through them, and it's fine. So now you should be able to hit bosses with Starstruck, and it was working before. It just doesn't show up on the bar as a debuff. It's actually a small VFX. You'll see some little like retro arcade pixelated music notes and love hearts that appear. That's how you know. For bosses, it might be a little bit harder to tell because there's the boss is quite big and the little VFX are quite small, but and the boss moves around a lot. But I assure you that we've been testing it. The Starstruck should be working on the bosses. You should be able to hit them now. And the affected bosses were only, I believe, the Bull Demon King and the Elder Drake, I think it was. I think it worked on the Steel Widow. So, other questions?
Yes. Okay, so there is a lot of talk about bugs, AI improvements. That will be an update too.
Oh yeah, bug fixes. So yeah, there's a lot of AI fixes. So we know that right now there are some, there's a behavior right now where some champions will try to avoid AoEs, hostile AoEs. And while they're trying to avoid, they'll do some really crazy things like stand perfectly still or run away forever. This is happening because there's a few AoEs that are just too big to avoid, and they don't really know how to go around them. So that's like the wall effect that the Dryad uses, the Tempest that the Valkyrie uses, and I think a few effects like the Esper's, a little zappy bubble, and there's a few other effects like this that just create a zone around a character that the AI does not want to move through. So we've added something now that the AI should recognize when there's no way around, or recognize when this is not an effect that they should be dodging, and they'll just plow through it. So no more completely stopping people with the Dryad wall. This will be fixed. Other improvements to AI, now if you focus target something and your champion gets immobilized, they'll attack something nearby. They won't stop because they can't reach their focus target. So that should also improve your ability to micromanage your champions in the arena.
Yeah, exactly. There are some new players joining us. So Dungeon Hunter Champions is available on Android, iOS, and PC, so pick your poison. Other than that, yes, champion storage, we will be talking about that in the dev Q&A that we will be posting on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are going to give 100 gems to everybody if we exceed 10K subscribers. So maybe you should try that. Other than that, do we have any more questions?
I believe there are some improvements to the in-game chat. I don't have details about that,
Yeah.
but I believe that there have been some bug fixes there for this update. Let's see what else we have. Arena rank changes. Oh, yes. Okay. So,
Arena.
yes, there are arena rank
Yeah.
changes. There'll be more details in the patch notes, but basically, we checked and we can see that there's a lot of players who are not getting the payout that they could be getting because they don't have enough trophies, that the trophy requirements are a little bit harsh right now. So we're going to completely change that for both the arena and for the 5v5 leaderboards. It's going to be a lot easier to achieve those higher rewards. So typically now you're going to see a lot more competition fighting over the rank rather than just farming trophies by trying to rack up wins. So in this case, it's going to be a little bit more competitive and not so much reaching rank 1 and not getting a rank 1 reward. That's not right. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Those brackets do need to be updated based on the number of players who are playing. So they're not going to be permanent. We're going to update them as we see the population of the servers changes because we really want to make sure that it actually matches the pool of players who are playing.
Exactly. Just a couple questions before we go. How many orb shards will you need to make one orb?
It's 50 orb shards,
Yeah.
but how many orb shards do you get from the boss? And that I'm not saying.
For sure. Anything else? Let's talk about, we talked about Starstruck. We talked about, we also have a chat for co-op, right?
Yes, I believe there's a lobby
Okay,
chat. There's a lobby chat so you can strategize a little bit there.
Yeah, before. Yes, patch notes. We will be releasing patch notes today, so hopefully there's more information for you. And yeah, if you have any feedback or comments regarding the patch notes that we'll be submitting today, please let us know.
Let's see here. Fix on defeated bug. So I believe that there was a bug.
Yep, it was reported yesterday.
I think that, yeah, so the defeated bug with the Steel Widow was, I think if you run a party that was less than 5 champions, that there was a bug that was causing you to fail even when you killed the boss. I believe that's been
It's
fixed.
been assessed. It should be fixed. If it's not fixed, I will
let us
go
know.
on it.
Let's see what else we have. There was another question here.
Yep.
The outfit stats. I believe the outfit stats are percentile of the base stats of the champion.
Yeah. And then calendar for reoccurring events, please. Yes, there is a calendar. It should be out not later than this weekend, I believe. And we already have the August login rewards calendar, so you can log in and rack some sweet rewards. But maybe like 2 or 3 more
costume
questions.
tokens. Okay, so for both the orb shards and the outfit tokens, they are not a chance drop. They are every time you win, you get a fixed amount. So enjoy that. It's very predictable, very reliable. You should be able to plan your runs around how many you need for your next goal. But there is a weekly cap, so keep that in mind. And there's also, I will remind you of the daily quests. There's a daily quest for both the co-op and for the 5 versus 5 to get outfit tokens.
Yep.
So play once a day, win once a day.
Exactly. And I think we could do one more question before we go.
Light mushroom. Nope, sorry.
Light mushroom.
Diva is going to be less OP in 5v5. See the patch notes for details.
Yes, absolutely. And accuracy, riddle is what?
I think that's it. So
Yeah.
thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, drop them in the Discord chat.
Yes, please join our Discord. And again, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're giving away 100 gems to everybody once we exceed 10K subscribers, which is not that hard because we're at 6 or 5. So very doable. And other than that, the patch notes will be out today. So everybody have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye. See you next time.
Let's see. Are we still on?